अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. Hare Krishna devotees, welcome to our ISKCON official YouTube channel. Today I am going to discuss Adilila Chaitanya Charitamrita chapter 7 part 2 from verse 77. ये आज्ञापया नाम लय अनुक्षण नाम लयते मोर भ्रांत हैल मन. If you, the English translation is, since I received this order from my spiritual master, I always chant the holy name, but I thought that by chanting the holy name, I had been bewildered. This name. So verse 78, Dharja dhari nari hailam unmatta hasi kandi nachi gai jaiche madamatta. While chanting the holy name of the Lord in pure ecstasy, I lose myself, and thus I laugh, cry, dance and sing just like a madman. Verse 79. तबे धैर्यधारी मने करिलूँ विचार कृष्ण नाम ज्ञानाच्छन्न हैला अमार. Collecting my patience, therefore I began to consider that chanting the holy name of Krishna had covered up all my spiritual knowledge. The verse 8. Pagala hailam ami dharja nahi mane eta chindi nivedanu guru charane. I saw that I had become mad by chanting the holy name, and I immediately submitted this at the lotus feet of my spiritual master. So verse 81. Kiva mantra dila gosai kiva tar bada japite mantra karila pagala. My dear Lord, what kind of mantra have you given me? I have become mad simply by chanting this Mahamantra. So verse 82. Asaya nachaya more karaya krandana eta suni guru more guru hasi varila vachana. Chanting the holy name in ecstasy causes me to dance, laugh and cry. When my spiritual master heard all this, he smiled and then began to speak. Verse 83. Krishna Nama Mahamantrera Eita Svabhava Ei Jape Tar Krishna Puje Bhava. It is the nature of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra that anyone who chants it immediately develops his loving ecstasy for Krishna. Verse 84. Krishna Vishayaka Prema Parama Purusartha Jaharage Trunatulya Chari Purusartha. Religiosity, economic development, sense gratification and liberation are known as the four goals of life. But before love of Godhead, the fifth and highest goal, these appear as insignificant as straw in the street. Verse 85. Pancham Purusartha Prema Anandamrita Sindhu Mokhyadi Anandajar Nahi Ekabindu. For a devotee who has actually developed bhava, the pleasure derived from dharma, artha, kama and moksha appears like a drop in the presence of the sea. So verse 89. Shradha kamparo manchasru gadgada vachana vaivarna vanmada visada dharja garva harsadan jainya eta bhave prema bhakti bhakta ganera nachay Krishnera Anandamrita Sagare Bhasai. Perspiration, trembling, standing on end of one's budded hairs, tears, faltering voice, fading complexion, madness, melancholy, patience, pride, joy and humility. These are various natural symptoms of ecstatic love of Godhead, which causes a devotee to dance and float in an ocean of transcendental bliss while chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. Do we get these symptoms? From this we can understand our position. I am in the lowest position, of course. Verse 106. Prabhu kahe Vedant Sutra Ishvara Vachana Vyasa Rupe Kaila Jaha Sri Narayana. The Lord said, means the spiritual master of Mahaprabhu said, Vedanta philosophy consists of words spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead Narayana in the form of Vyasadeva. 107. Brahma pramada viprilipsa karuna bhattava Ishvara vakye nahi dosai sava. So, the material defects of mistakes, illusion, cheating and sensory inefficiency do not exist in the words of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Verse 108. Upanishad Shaita Sutra kahe jai tattva mukhya vrittiye sei artha paramhatva. The absolute truth is described in the Upanishads and Brahma Sutra, but one must understand the verses as they are. That is the supreme glory of in understanding. So verse 109. Gauna vrittiye javabhasya karila acharya tar sravane nasa hoy sarvakaya karya. Srila Shankaracharya has described all the Vedic literatures in terms of indirect meaning. One who hears such explanation is ruined. Verse 110. The transcendental mellow of conjugal love of Krishna is so wonderful that Krishna himself accepts the form of a devotee to relish and taste it fully. In this way, Mahaprabhu answered the questions of Prakashananda Saraswati, and they were convinced. That's why thereafter they took up this Vaishnavism. So, the Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says in verse 111, Brahma sabde mukhya arthe kahe Bhagavan Chidaishwarya paripurna anubhava samana. According to direct understanding, the absolute truth is the Supreme Personality of Godhead who has all spiritual opulences. No one can be equal to or greater than this. Verse 113. Chidananda teho tara sthana parivara tari kahe prakruta sattva vikar. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is full of spiritual potencies, therefore his body, name, fame and entourage are all spiritual. The Mayavadi philosopher, due to ignorance, says that these are all merely transformations of the material mode of goodness. Verse 114. Tar dosa nahi teho ajñakari dasa arjai sune tar hai sarvanas. Shankaracharya, who is an incarnation of Lord Shiva, is faultless because he is a servant carrying out the order of the Lord. But these those who follow his Mayavadi philosophy are doomed. They will lose all their advancement in the spiritual knowledge. Verse 116. Ishvara tattva jana jvalita jvalana jivar swarupa jaiche spulinga kirana. The Lord is like a great blazing fire, and the living entities are like small sparks of that fire. Verse 117. Jiva tattva shakti Krishna tattva shaktiman Gita Vishnu Varanadi tahate pramana. The living entities are energies, not the energetic. The energetic is Krishna. This is very vividly described in the Bhagavad Gita, the Vishnu Purana and other Vedic literatures. So verse 121. Vyasara sutrete kahe parinamvada vyasa bhranta vali tara utila vivada. In this Vedanta Sutra, Srila Vyasadeva has described that everything is but a transformation of energy of the Lord. Shankaracharya, however, has misled the world by commenting that Vyasadeva was mistaken. Thus he has raised great opposition to theism throughout the entire world. So, in this way, I will like to conclude here because there is some other verses. I will take up it in part 3. So thank you very much for listening to this lecture, and please don't forget to subscribe, share and like our channel and get the blessings of the Lord. Hare